So I'm David Udell. I run the National Center for for Access to Justice in New York City at Cardozo Law School. And I bring a background having worked at the Brennan Center for Justice, and before that as a civil legal services lawyer at MFY Legal Services, and have worked with firms through the years in lots of different ways, including policy-focused work that we're doing now at my center. And I'll just tick off some of the things that pro bono lawyers can do when they collaborate with nonprofit organizations. So first, the litigation category. It's really the full gamut, soup to nuts. I mean, it's everything that can happen in a court, can be done through pro bono relationships with nonprofit organizations. So that's everything from interviewing clients, developing and identifying facts, figuring out who the witnesses will be in civil legal proceedings, preparing initial pleadings, preparing answers, working through discovery in the context of the kinds of cases that come up in the nonprofit world, in the nonprofit legal services world especially, drafting briefs, working, as was mentioned by Mark, at the appellate level with appellate briefs, and presenting oral argument to courts. You know, switching gears slightly, I'll say that there's also policy advocacy. So many of our legal services programs become involved, excuse me, in matters that implicate public policy in cities or in federal agencies or at the federal level altogether, at the Congress. And so there's an opportunity sometimes to appear in regulatory proceedings and to submit in testimony, present oral testimony. There are also transactional kinds of matters. You know, a certain number of pro bono firms work closely with nonprofits, and they serve almost as a kind of house counsel, helping them with everything from contracts on renting space to employment law issues to tax issues. And also, depending on the kind of nonprofit that the organization is working with, the subject matter of what the nonprofit itself does may require an enormous amount of lawyer help. So for example, there are organizations that work with micro-lending or that help create residential settings for individuals with disabilities. And it can be everything. It can involve zoning at the end of the day. You know, where can we put up the new building and what does it take in order to get the permissions that are necessary to do that? So it's quite a broad range, and then even beyond those categories of work, there are things like learning a field of law and educating the public about it. People do know your rights trainings that are very important. There are court watching, research kinds of tasks that are very, very valuable in terms of policy reform. I'll pause there, but it's really a wide range of things that are possible.